Hi, and welcome to the video summary of the final success session for students graduating from the Blue Water Middle College Academy. The session was held Friday, April 12th. I'm recording it early the week after. And as you will see, it contains information that students who are leaving the middle college and moving on, whether it's at SC4 to continue or to go on to a university or a job, I think you'll all find something important in this presentation. So off we go, the last one. First of all, a couple of announcements. SC4 could use your help, and some of our students, maybe you, have helped in the past leading eighth graders around the campus when they visit in May or early June. You yourself might have, your first visit to SC4 might have been as an eighth grader along with your middle school. The dates of the eighth grade visits at SC4 this year are Wednesdays and Thursdays, May 15th and 16th, and again on the 22nd and 23rd. You don't have to be an expert on the campus, but I think by now everybody viewing this video knows the campus pretty well. And given a map and some cheat sheets, some notes, I guess you'll do a great job leading the eighth graders around campus. And there's a lot of SC4 faculty and staff around to help and present information at the different buildings. Okay, so you don't have to do all of that. But we could really use your help. Sign up at tinyurl.com/2019 SC4 tours. Basically, you'll just give your name and click next to the date that you can help. You can do as many as two. We don't need you. One would be great if you can do that. If you want to lead a tour with a friend of yours, they also have to be a Blue Water Middle College Academy student. At the end of the form, you'll just add their name, and then as long as they put your name at the end of their form on the same date, then you guys will be paired up together. Okay, so consider helping out. All right. Another thing to let you know about an event on April 25th, so coming up in just about 10 days, the Blue Water College Access Network is offering another one of their great career panels. They've had panels on the fields of criminal justice, trade schools, all kinds of different areas, career areas, and this is a new one for them. It's an energy and environmental career panel. So as you can see from the graphic, you'll see some electrical, lines, grid on the picture, and also a wind turbine. And of course, energy includes natural gas and gasoline and so on. So a lot of careers in Michigan and across the country and world actually in this field. And so if you're at all interested in that, either from an engineering standpoint or an environmental standpoint, you might want to consider attending this. It's free. It's April 25th from 6:30 to 9:30 at the RESA offices in Marysville. They just ask that you register at, right down at the bottom, it says bwcan.org. If you go there, and then you'll link to their workshops or panels, and just give them your name, no cost. You could win a $500 scholarship. Somebody, one of the students who attends, will walk away with a $500 scholarship. They'll just draw that, from a hat, if you will. So, but good information. I recommend that if you're at all interested in those areas. Textbooks, your last time to return textbooks and materials for the middle college begins next week as I record this on Monday, April 22nd. You can bring back individual books. It does kind of help to bring them all back at the same time, but if you have one or two books that you have not used at all and you won't use them for the finals, you're pretty sure of that, you can drop them off in the office. Make sure that one of us checks them in and highlights the name of the book. So we don't want later, if it's not highlighted, then we'll come after you for that book and the cost of the book. So we'll do our job, try to highlight it. We just need you to double check that we're doing so. Okay? So don't return any books you need to study for final exams. So make sure you hang on to those. Now, the final return deadline is Friday, May 10th. That's a full week after finals. If your books are not back by then, if any of your books are not back by then, you're going to be assessed $25 for a late return charge. And if you cannot find a book, you'll also be assessed the charge for the book. But we try to help out our students. So if you're missing a book, tell us early, and then we'll try to help you find the cheapest way to replace it. Okay, so just contact us. Don't stay away, because you won't get your diploma until all your books and fines and everything like that are in. Okay, well, you've almost made it. As I record this, there's just 2 weeks to go, and then finals week. And if you think back 3 years ago from this time, you were taking I guess it was the Compass test. I put Accuplacer here, but I was reminded that actually it was the Compass test. And you got your first SC4 schedule of classes. And since then, here's what's happened. You've completed, or almost completed, 6 semesters at SC4, 18 to 20 college courses. You've earned approximately 62 or more credit hours. You've completed or gone through your high school commencement, if you will. Technically not your graduation, that's just a few weeks away, but it's coming. And you've been through over 25 hours of success sessions, including the orientation information that hopefully helped you, plan a successful experience here and on into the future. And coming soon, for many of you, just in a matter of a few weeks, your college degree. And if you're not going to get it on May 3rd at SC4's commencement, my guess is that you're very close to earning an associate degree, which is fantastic. So I would definitely concur that that is impressive. So nice job to all of you. However, there is time for just a little more information and advice, and these are things that we've realize that we haven't really talked to you about that we want to prepare you for next steps after the middle college and as a college graduate that many of you will be. So we're going to talk about just briefly talk about the exit surveys we need you to complete before the end of the school year. I'll look at your new status as a Blue Water Middle College Academy graduate and possible next steps for you, some ideas if you're not sure. We'll talk a little bit about majors and minors in terms of decisions you might have to make in the not too distant future, academic programs we're talking about when it comes to majors and minors. We'll look at your SC4 transcript. This is something you're going to be sending off to future colleges, future employers. It's important you know what's going to be on it. So we'll dig into an actual transcript and I'll show you all the parts that will be on it. We'll talk about textbook options for future years as you go off to school, whether it's at SC4, returning here to finish something, or to go to a university. How you purchase textbooks or rent or buy, whatever it is, new or used, can save you or cost you hundreds of dollars. So we're going to give you some ideas on that. Just review a little bit about paying for college and what to do if you're concerned about, I'm not sure how am I going to pay for my next few steps. We'll talk about that as well. I'll briefly describe the graduation ceremonies, SC4s and the middle colleges, and we'll talk about purchasing your iPad if you would like to. You can return it if you want, or you can purchase it. What we did at the session, I'm not going to ask you guys to do that right now in the video, obviously, because you're watching this alone, but we asked students to think about one thing that they really liked, really enjoyed about their Blue Water Middle College Academy experience. We went through all the students in attendance and they each shared one thing. Just to give you an idea, some students mentioned a particular course that they really liked. Others mentioned the fact that the middle college helped them decide what they wanted to do in the future. Certainly several students said saving money was a big deal that they enjoyed. Meeting new people was an example that a lot of them shared, making new friends, and just a variety of other things. So that's something I do hope you can come up with if you stopped and think about, what are some things I really liked about being a middle college student. I certainly hope you can come up with several. There may be some challenges that you look at too and say this did not go well, or I didn't like this, and that's going to happen anytime you're in a program like this over multiple years. The key is, what you did to overcome that or to adapt. That's really where a lot of the learning comes beyond, the courses and things like that you learned in your courses. Okay, so just something we thought about, or we did at the session. You don't have to do that. Something we would like you to do is the 2 graduation surveys. One is absolutely required, the MEMCA survey. I want all our students to complete. We took time at the session and everybody did it there. Everyone who was there logged in just using their phone, so you can do that. And I will send the link with this email, the email that gives you the link to this video. You'll get a link to the MEMCA survey. What that is, the MEMCA is a statewide organization of early and middle colleges, and to continue to try to improve on what we do and to show the state of Michigan that it's worth having early and middle colleges, we participate in a data project. And part of that data is a survey of the graduating students. Now, for this to be accurate, the data for this survey, we only want students who are finishing grade 13. If you are getting this and you're a student that's graduating at the end of 12th grade, we do not need you to complete the MEMCA survey. We do not want you to complete the MEMCA survey. We want students who have been through grade 13. That's what they're asking students throughout the state who are graduating, okay? So as it says, your name will not be asked in the survey, so your responses will be anonymous. The survey will not be used to grade you or make any decisions about you. They're not going to know whose responses are whose, okay? The responses are important. Please take your time to do this well. The students at the session took about 15 minutes, some students as much as 20 minutes or so to complete it. It says it should take approximately 30 to 40 minutes. It did not take that long. But to do it well, please plan on 15 or 20 minutes. Most of the responses, as I'll mention, and I'll come back to this in a second, are just bubbling. Just you click here, click here. But what takes time is actually reading what they're asking about and then considering, in this case, how often have you done the following in your high school? So you do have to look whether they're talking about college classes or high school classes or experiences. They're trying to look at both. And basically you just click and move on. Okay, there are a few open-ended questions where they want you to type in, and the more detailed response you can provide, the better it is. Okay, just going back to this slide, the deadline for completing the survey is May 10th. Please complete it as soon as possible. Just so it doesn't get away from you. I'm asking that you email me when you have completed the survey. Just send me an email and just say, Mr. Spencer, MEMCA is done, or I completed MEMCA or something like that, okay? And that way I'll try not to bother you again with another reminder, okay? So it says almost all the items involve simply clicking your choices. There are a couple that are important that have require a written response, okay? All right, and at this point, so here is the link. I'll send it out via email too, but this is what we used at the presentation. I put this up on the screen. It's important that you keep in mind to get to the right survey, you need to put an underscore in between the 9 and the S in schools, okay? All right, so now, moving ahead to your new student status or statuses, you may have more than one. First of all, you are going to be a high school graduate officially, finally, in just a few weeks. You just have to finish up this semester, and then you will be, hopefully, graduated if all your requirements have been met. Many of you will also become a college graduate, which is really cool because only about 1/3 of all the adults in St. Clair County and really across the state of Michigan are college graduates. So you are putting yourself in that relatively rare category at the age of, for many of you, 19. Some of you might just be 18. So that's really something to be proud of. Now, some of you are moving on to be a college freshman at a new school or university. Now, that's primarily for application purposes. If you remember, we had you apply and the colleges wanted you to apply as a freshman. Now, many of you, once you get to the campus and meet with an advisor and they transfer in your SC4 courses, will quickly jump up to a college sophomore or even college junior, like someone in their 3rd year of college, which is really cool. So that academic standing may change as soon as you get to campus and meet with an advisor. But for right now, they're, I believe, treating you as just a college freshman until you get those credits all transferring in, okay? All right, so look at what's next for students, and we try to have, at this session, cover a variety of student next steps, if you will. Some of you I know are going on to a 4-year university for a bachelor's degree, and you may go on to graduate school for a master's or doctoral degree. And that's not everybody, though, so we're going to talk about that over the next couple of minutes. For those of you going on to a 4-year university, if you did not earn your associate degree at SC4, really find out what you need. You might not need that much to get the associate degree, and then you can do what's called a reverse transfer, which is basically you take some of the credits or classes you earn at the university and transfer them back to SC4. You just have your transcript sent back here. You apply for graduation at SC4 and you'll get your associate degree. And you don't even have to step foot on campus again if you don't want to at SC4. Okay, so keep that in mind. Some of you are going to be staying at SC4 to complete your first associate degree or degrees, or possibly to earn a second associate degree or certification. I know there are some students that start out pursuing one degree and they find out, midway through or sometimes near the end that, there's really another area that I want to pursue, and that's okay. So they head off in another area, for example, business, or maybe it's more hands-on, mechatronics or something like that. So some will be staying at SC4. Some of you will probably just want to go to work for a while, and you've been in school for 14 years, counting kindergarten through grade 13, and that's a lot. And so it's okay if you want to just take a break and look for a job, maybe earn a little money for a while before going back to school. But whatever you do, work to complete a degree. Most of you are going to be earning a degree, or you're going to be very close, 1-2 classes maybe from finishing your degree. If you're not that close due to failed classes, withdrawals, or whatever, you are still much closer than most people in the area. So try to get back on track whenever you feel it, and it may be a year or two, but those courses you've earned at SC4 will stay here waiting for you, and you can just add to them and earn your degree. So really work to complete it. It's that valuable. Now, some options for school that are closer to home for students maybe who haven't already decided and made the commitment to enroll at another college or university. There are a lot. First of all, SC4, certainly you can stay home, complete one particular program, or maybe add another. At SC4, they have what are known as University Center Partners. Now, these are 4-year universities that have representation here in programs at SC4. So Ferris State, for example, has a criminal justice bachelor's degree program that you can complete at SC4. U of M Flint has a bachelor's of psychology and a nursing bachelor's degree. You'd have to get your associate degree in nursing first, but you can complete the psychology bachelor's degree at SC4. Walsh College has several business degrees that you can earn at SC4, and then SC4 also has a partnership with Northwood University. I'm not sure of how many of the classes you can actually take at SC4, but again, that's a 4-year university that you can get a bachelor's degree from. So talk to an SC4 advisor, or visit the advising center, because that's where the offices are of the University Center Partner reps. Okay, they're not there every day, all day, but the secretary up there can tell you when they are available. Okay, Macomb County Community College. Here's Port Huron right here on this map. Macomb is right here, so it's not that far away. Matter of fact, for those of you in Algonac and Capac and some of these schools, it's about the same distance as SC4. But Macomb offers a lot of programs as well, including programs that SC4 does not offer. So you might want to check on MCC, as they call it, Macomb County Community College. As terms of universities, Oakland University is in Rochester, Michigan. That's in Oakland County, about here, if you will, on this map. That's drivable, but it's a pretty long distance. Wayne State is in downtown Detroit, which is way over here, if you can see my cursor. And then there are online universities that you can complete a whole degree online. I think Central Michigan has what's called a global campus, and you can get a bachelor's degree totally online without leaving home. So a lot of options if you're not sure what you want to do. If you're staying at SC4, you must submit a new SC4 application as a regular student. So just, even to take a summer class, if you try to register for a summer class, you're going to get a message that it will say you need to submit a middle college application, but that's not the case. You need to submit a regular SC4 application. You just go to their website, SC4's website, click on admission, and then I think it says apply to SC4. You click on that button and fill it out. And it's really easy and there's no cost. But then that will allow you to register for fall classes. Everything else stays the same, your email address, your SC4 login, and so on. If you register for fall classes, you can do that as soon as that new application is in the system. You will have to think about paying tuition, though. The tuition will be due for those fall classes about a month after registering. You may qualify for financial aid, and I would say talk to the folks in the Welcome Center on the first floor. Just go to that desk there, and they'll help you make an appointment with the financial aid representative, and they'll let you know your options for paying for college. Okay, the semester begins at SC4 on August 19th. So whatever you do, try to complete a degree. Okay. Again, some of you are going to be looking for a job rather than going back to school, or you're going to be going back to school and still looking for a job and trying to work a little bit more maybe to earn money to pay for schooling. There are a couple sites I wanted to point out to you. One is through the state of Michigan. It's mitalent.org, and we'll click and go there in just a second. Another site is, let me see if sc4.edu/career coach. That's one that's tied into St. Clair County Community College. Both of them are neat because they have actual jobs in the area, and you can zero in based on your location and how far you're willing to drive. So what I'm going to do right now is click mitalent.org, and if this works, it'll take us to that site. Okay, and this is a statewide site, and there's all kinds of tools on it. So I encourage you to go ahead and explore the site. But let's say you want to look for jobs in and around Port Huron or St. Clair County. In this case, let me say I want to look for a marketing job. Maybe you have a marketing degree, or you just wanted to go into that. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that as a keyword. The job title, I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to then say I am in the Port Huron area, which is 48060. Okay, and I'm going to say I'm willing to drive 25 miles. Okay, and I want jobs posted within the last month, so they're fairly recent. And now I click search for jobs. Now you'll see the number right down at the bottom. They're saying overall there's 152,000 jobs. When we filter it, that number is going to drop, I assume, quite a bit. And if you can see on your screen, it says now there's 83 jobs that match the search that I typed in. And so here you have some, a director of business development and marketing at the Lake Huron Medical Center in Port Huron. So again, this is a recent job. Again, Port Huron, you'll see here's Marine City. So again, these are all, fairly recent and local jobs. Now, let's say you're earning your associate degree. So you only want jobs for people that require an associate degree. So I'm going to click this. We were at, I think, 83. I'm now going to apply the changes. And let's see what happens. Now we're down to one job that includes, now the other jobs are fine. You can apply to them, but they don't require an associate degree. So this is the one job that does. A bariatric coordinator, it looks like that would be more of a medical thing rather than marketing. But so in this case, you can filter by a lot of different means. So don't limit yourself too much. Those other jobs might be very good, but they just either require more or less than an associate degree. So, but that's the mitalent.org site. And then the other one is SC4 Career Coach. But, if again, you're not exactly sure what you want to do, you can click the Career Explorer part and just, explore the whole site. They have assessments just like career cruising and so on. Okay. All right, so the other thing at SC4, I'm going to go back to the presentation. SC4 advisors, there is a career center. It's not necessarily the academic advisors, but they can get you in the right area. And because you're an SC4 student, any of you have access to the SC4 career services the rest of your life, basically. So if you get your bachelor's degree and you want to come back to the area, stop into SC4 and use them as a resource of good local jobs. Okay? All right, so now on to paying for college. We've talked about options, what you're going to do. Now, for those who are going on to college, whether it's now or maybe a few years from now, this is just a quick review of what we talked about last fall when Mrs. Kassar spoke to you guys. Tuition, is at SC4, it's about $160 per contact hour starting in the fall. So even a 3-credit course can be pushing, $500. You go to a university, you may be paying $450 to as much as $550 per credit hour. So a 3-credit class there now is looking at over $1,600, almost $2,000 a class. So that's one thing that gets expensive at a college. If you're going somewhere where you have to live, you're moving away from home, you have to plan on several $1,000s, especially if you're living on campus in a dorm or an apartment, as much as $10,000 if you include a food plan. It could be cheaper off campus, but then you have to worry about getting your own meals and things like that. And some of you may be required to live on campus your first year. Textbooks can cost between $200 and $600 per semester, so that adds up as well. Again, we're going to show you ways to cut that number down a fair amount, just a bit. And you have to think about just, room furnishings when you first get there, other supplies. If you move into an apartment, you may have to get a bed or something like that. And then just day-to-day expenses. So it can all add up to a lot of money, but there are options. So just be sure to ask. Don't just feel like I can never do this. Ask people who help students do this. SC4 has some great reps. You don't have to be returning to SC4 to talk to them and get help, okay? There are federal grants for students with financial need. No payback is required for those. You've heard of possibly the Pell Grant. That's several $1,000s a year to help pay for tuition. But you do need to demonstrate financial need, where your family does not have a lot of money coming in to pay for thousands of dollars for college. Scholarships often are based on academic achievement, but not always. So you might find one that's just looking for students who really have a strong interest in a particular area, and someone is looking to support their studies. There's no payback needed for scholarships. And then there are student loans and parent loans. And of course, they are loans, so payback is required. But honestly, that's how many students end up completing a bachelor's degree or graduate school, is through student loans. They are not a bad thing, but you do have to go in with your eyes open on how much debt you want to take on and how much money you have to pay after you graduate each month to pay back that debt. The idea is that you get a good job with a bachelor's degree or another associate degree, and then you therefore can pay for that loan amount and also a lot more, hopefully, you're earning. And you can also work while at school, and students can earn, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a year, especially if you work hard in the summers in between. So all of that can be put together to help pay for your time in future schooling. For the grants and scholarships and a lot of the student loans, you do need to complete the FAFSA. And I won't go into all that. We've talked about that before, but it is something you need to do. And again, if you're not sure because you never did it, talk to one of the SC4 financial aid folks over the coming weeks, or the ones at your new future school if you're going on, and they'll help you learn about it. Okay, moving on now to your transcripts. And these are really important because this is something that many of you through the rest of your life, or at least the next 10 or 20 years or so, may be sending on to future colleges and then future employers. So let's take a look at what a transcript looks like. We're going to look at one that actually was Miss Carrie Burse, the SC4 current registrar. She attended SC4 and, as you will see, earned degrees from SC4 a few years ago. And you'll see also she was a very good student with her grades. But we're going to use that. She's allowed us to use that as a way of demonstrating what is on a college transcript. So, and we'll talk about how to order them as well. So first of all, here's the overall picture. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is printed on watermark paper. So it's got the St. Clair County Community College seal in the background and so on. So it's very official looking. We've blacked out, of course, some of the information. I'm going to zoom in different areas so you can see them with a little more clarity. But overall, this is what it would look like. She actually has a second page, so the more classes you have, it goes from one column to the next, and then it will transfer on to another page, as this says page 1 of 2. Okay? So zooming in a little bit, up in the upper left, you'll see the words official transcript there. And for a transcript to be official, it must come directly from the college it's being sent by, either by mail in a sealed envelope or digitally now, is what's often done and what SC4 does. Okay, so if your new college or employer asks for your college transcript, you've got to contact SC4 and have them send it directly. Now, sometimes folks will accept an unofficial transcript, therefore you could just print one off yourself or go to the Welcome Center, get one, and make a copy and send it to them. But other times they want an official copy. Okay? Any new school you attend will want an official copy of your transcript if they're going to transfer credit. Okay, they won't take your word for it. And employers may want an official copy as well. Zooming in now on just one part of one of those columns, we're going to see what it includes. And at the bottom, it'll say the transcript includes the course code, which you'll see right there, Bio 100, English 101, Honors, and so on. The course name, which you'll see in that box. The number of credit hours each course was worth, and the grade that the student received. Okay. It also includes the grade point average, and you'll see that it has a term GPA, in other words, how the student does or how you do just for that term, and then your cumulative. Okay. So in this case, Ms. Burrs had a very good semester, a 3.8 GPA, and that brought up her cumulative from a 3.6 to 3.71. Now, one other thing you'll notice on the transcript, if you earn it, is this little line is very powerful. It says MTA satisfied. We've been talking to you guys about the Michigan Transfer Agreement, and if you can earn it, the importance of doing so, because it really helps when you get to another university in the state of Michigan by telling them you don't need to worry about the general education requirements. You've met those at SC4. Okay, so it's got great value. But that's what it looks like, just one little line with an asterisk next to it. What you'll also see here is on the second page of her transcript are the different awards that were conferred to her. So if you earn your associate degree, it will show up like this with the date. If you have any honors, such as Phi Theta Kappa, things like that, those will also be printed on your transcript. Okay, and then a summary of the course's credits completed and her final grade point average, which ended up being a 3.865. Okay, so to order your transcript, your SC4 transcript, you can do so from the SC4 website, either from within your service center, and you will find a link off to the left. If you click on the little graduation cap, that'll open up some choices, and one of them will be to request your transcript. There's a $5 fee that you have to pay online, via some kind of card. But then it gets sent to the new college in just a matter of minutes. It's delivered there, which is nice. I believe they can mail a transcript to, let's say, an employer or a school that doesn't participate in their digital service. So you just have to contact the enrollment office directly. Okay, and you can stop, and if you want a copy of your transcript, just for your own sake, you can go into the Welcome Center and ask them to print one out. And they'll do that for you. You can also see an unofficial copy of your transcript from within your service center. Click on the link that says unofficial transcript. Okay, this is important. You need to know which transcript your new college is asking for. Are they looking for your SC4 transcript or your high school transcript, which would be your Blue Water Middle College Academy transcript? We get requests sometimes months or in some cases even a year or more after a student graduates from the middle college, and a student might email me and say, Mr. Spencer, my college needs my transcript, can you send it to them? And I always ask, are you sure they need the high school transcript or the college? Usually it's the college transcript they need once you've enrolled into a school, but there are times where they just need to see that you graduated from college. So make sure you know if you're being asked to provide a transcript, do they need a high school or your college, or maybe it's both. Okay, I'm not going to take the time to demonstrate it here. There actually is a web page that I created, and it's on the Middle College site. When you go to bluewatermiddlecollege.org, and you'll see a tab for after the middle college, after the BWMC, and one of the choices that'll drop down is requesting transcripts, and it'll talk about how to request your high school transcript and your college transcript. Okay, so go ahead and you can look at that. Your middle college transcript is your high school transcript. You'll need it when applying to your first college after SC4. You probably won't need it after that, but you might for a job, just to make sure that you did graduate. And your final transcript from the middle college will have all your courses going back to freshman year. It'll include your high school courses, your college courses, your final grade point average, and there'll be an actual graduation date printed on it. Okay, so for ordering that, for the time being, you can order it through the parchment.com website, which some students are doing right now this spring, or if the future, you can't log into Parchment or you forget your account or something like that, just email or contact the middle college and we'll see that a transcript gets sent to wherever you want it to go. Okay, the next section of the session, and we're getting closer to the end, you guys, has to do with some planning for your new school. And we're just going to take a minute on this. And you'll see up here I mentioned majors, minors, and more. So in this case, we had, I don't think it'll work, the audio will work, so I'm going to kind of just summarize what this admissions rep from Saginaw Valley is talking about. But a couple years ago, we had this gentleman, Anderson Bearden, speak live to our grade 13 students through a conference setup. And he talked about choosing a major or, if possible, a minor at a university such as Saginaw Valley State. And basically, his points were the major is a set of classes that make up about a third to almost one half of all your credits at a university. Okay, so that could be 40 to 45, as many as 60 credits out of 120 credits usually needed for a bachelor's degree. Okay, that does not include the general education credits that you earned through the Michigan Transfer Agreement or separately, you just earned by taking classes here, nor does it include some elective credits. So it's just something to consider. If you can do more of your homework ahead of time before getting there, the advisors that you meet with at the university will ask you about what you would like your major to be. Now, they'll help you because they realize that most of their students don't know everything that's offered there. But being a middle college student, it's really a good thing because you're transferring 40, 50, 60 college credits. But the downside is that you kind of need to be ready to dive into that major more quickly than a student who's just starting their college career and can take some more of the general classes. So be ready. The more research you can do, contact the schools, all that stuff, the more you can do ahead of time, the better, okay? A minor is actually like a smaller set of classes. It might only be 3 or 4 classes. So, for example, a student might be going for a bachelor's degree in English. Their major might be creative writing, and their minor might be journalism. So they take courses in all those areas, but more so in creative writing than the journalism. Okay? All right, so now this last important section on textbooks. And, you've been lucky enough to basically come in before each semester and get your textbooks. The last few semesters, we've had you actually find them on the shelves, but it's all pretty organized for you and you don't have to pay anything, which is really nice. So we want to make sure that you have some ideas for paying for textbooks in the future. And for some of you, that's going to be coming up very soon. So your options are you can buy new books, you can buy used books, or you can rent books, believe it or not. And some books will only be available as new. If it's a brand new book or a brand new edition, there won't be any used books available. So there's going to be a high cost for those if you purchase them. The nice thing is new books are clean, free of highlighting, margin notes, things like that. They just, you know what a new book is like. It just is nice to have in your hand, but it comes with a price. Used books can be significantly cheaper, but may come with someone else's highlighting and notes that can sometimes be distracting when you're studying. So if you're getting a used book, you might want to, flip through it if it's on the stacks and make sure that you can deal with the level of notes or highlighting that the previous student left in that book. Renting books, as you'll see in a bit, can be a great option and is often much more inexpensive, but the book you get will probably be in used condition, maybe not. And you do have to return it on time or risk extra costs. In other words, they can charge you for actually purchasing the book if you don't return it on time. So in terms of where to buy books, if you're going off to a university, there will be a college bookstore or multiple college bookstores on or near campus. Depends on how big the college or university is. Those are great. You're going to get good service, probably, although when it's really a busy time, it might be hard to get service and someone that can wait on you for too long. But they're going to be convenient. It's nearby. And they can even help you if you bring your schedule. There might be someone there that can actually grab the books that you need for you. Okay. Other times you just kind of explore the racks on your own. It's probably going to be more expensive, but as you know, good service sometimes can be worth it. Okay. Bookstores do sell new and used books, and they may even rent textbooks too. SC4's bookstore now does that, so that can save you a lot of money. All right. Some instructors you will find require things called course packs. They're printouts of their notes or PowerPoints. If any of you had a psychology class with Dr. Wada, that's what she would do. Usually instead of a book, you would just need her PowerPoint pack. And you may have to go to a specialty printing store to get that, but that information will be shared with you. So you can buy books online, you can buy them new, used, rent, or even download ebooks, which can also be pretty inexpensive. I'll show you that in just a second. This can be a little riskier because you have to make sure you order the correct edition. You don't want to get it sent to you and then have to send it back, and then you have to wait for them to send another copy and so on. You can't actually see the book you're going to be getting, so the book you get might be very used, more than you would want. But it can save a lot of money over traditional college bookstores. So let's take a quick example. We're going to go back out to the internet, go to a couple of sites, and we're going to look up a book that we've used a lot for our students at SC4 called Sociology in Our Times. So where I'm going to go, actually I'm going to skip this, not worrying about this. I'm going to go to Chegg.com and or Amazon. So we'll go out to the web and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went out to my browser and typed in Chegg.com, Chegg.com, and here I am. They have several services. I believe they started as a textbook provider, and so we're gonna use that service for them. So in this case, I'm going to click on Books. And we're going to type in the Sociology in Our Times in just a second here. But what I want to show you is I've learned about this, spend some time clicking on it. And one thing that's interesting that I was wondering about is, well, can you highlight in books? Because that's really a good way of trying to highlight the things that you want to come back and study. And in this case, they say highlighting is okay, but please don't write in our book. So it's kind of the same thing we did at the middle college, is just, be respectful, highlight the things you want to highlight, but don't write notes in the margins and so on, okay? And so you can learn more about this. But let's take a look. If we type in Sociology in Our Times, and I think the 11th edition, and I'm matching up the cover right here, but there's something you'll see, it might be very small right now, but it has an ISBN number. And you want to be very certain that the number of the book you're ordering is exactly the one the instructor is asking for. And they will have the ISBN number. You can see it over here. Very specific to that edition and everything. So make sure those numbers match. Now, I want to show you something about this book. There are a variety of prices you'll see. First of all, if we click on the buy, it says $82.49. Okay, so that's a used book. If you buy a new book, you're looking at $160, okay? But you know there's going to be, no writing on it. It's going to be nice, fresh, brand new, okay? Used drops down by half, $82. Then you've got an e-textbook that you can use, probably through a Kindle. I'm not sure the formatting. You'd have to check that. You have 120-day access, so it tells you when it would be due, if you will, when it would no longer be available on your tablet or your computer. So you want to make sure you have enough access to cover the semester. If we go to 180 days, it only goes up $3. So that gives you half a year, plenty of time. Okay, so look how much cheaper that is. However, you might not like the e-textbook format. So if we rent it, that's $26.49. Remember, buying it was $160 something. And in this case, you get the free e-textbook while you're waiting for your book to arrive if you need it in a hurry. There's free shipping and free rental returns as well, and so on. So if you're not going to be keeping a book and you have time to rent it, it's really a good idea. Now you'll have to read what's, if you don't return it on time, they may charge you the full price of a new book. So be careful about that. But so that's one way of ordering books online. I'm not going to go to Amazon. They're going to have similar services and probably similar prices. But Chegg is a good one. It's been around for a while. All right, so let's get closer to wrapping up. Just a few more slides left. And let's see here. I believe we're going to get this to start from this point. Okay, back to the presentation for the last few slides. I talked about the ISBN number. Make sure it matches. If you're going to rent or even buy a book in a store, make sure that number matches up or you've got the right edition. Okay? All right. Just another reminder on returning middle college textbooks. You can begin as early as next week, April 22nd, but make sure if you need your book to study from, you don't turn it in early. The final due date is Friday, May 10th. You will not receive your diploma until all your middle college materials are returned or fines paid and so on. So last bit of information on the graduation ceremonies. SC4's college commencement is Friday, May 3rd. You do have to apply for graduation to participate, to get your cap and gown. Most of you viewing this, I'm sure, have already done so. If you're not sure if you qualify, contact me or contact any of us, and we'll go over your SC4 transcript and see if you have the everything completed to earn a degree. Okay. The spring commencement is for students who complete their requirements either last fall, very few of you probably did that, or this winter, or if you can complete in the summer. So if you're one class away and you can take that class in the summer, you can walk, and you probably should walk in this spring's commencement. If you complete next fall or winter, then spring 2020 will be your ceremony. All right, there is one other survey that's absolutely required. It's a local survey just for the Blue Water Middle College. We do need your name on the survey. It's much less than 15 minutes. You can probably complete it in 5, 6, 7 minutes. Although there are a couple questions we'd like you to take whatever time you need on. But this is the URL. I've sent the link out already, so thanks to many of you who've already completed it. I'll send that out, and you do need to complete this to get your diploma, okay? Because basically just asks about future plans and a little bit about your thoughts about the role of the middle college in preparing you for success in college overall, okay? So the middle college commencement ceremony is Wednesday evening, May 22nd. It starts at 7 o'clock, but we need students to attend at or to arrive at around 6:30. All students should attend. You do not have to, but we certainly hope that you do. We want traditional high school students who have attended our partner schools and homeschool students, 13th year students and 12th grade students graduating early. Everybody can go there, attend the ceremony. If you qualify for your high school diploma, you will actually get the diploma at the ceremony if all the requirements have been completed by then. And if you are just not completing the high school graduation requirements, you may get a certificate of completion, but everybody should get something at that session. I would like it if you can send me a photo, a graduation photo, or you with one of your hobbies or whatever it is, your dog or anything like that. I have a slideshow that runs before the ceremony that the families can watch, and we don't put names up there with the students, but it's just kind of nice for folks to see the faces of the students who are graduating. So that's about the survey. Just so you know, on our website, under the Current Students tab, you don't have to write all this down, but there's a page called Graduation, and it has all the information about the locations, times, and things like that. So that's the updated page under Current Students. Go to Graduation. Okay? And finally, you can purchase your iPad from the Middle College for $50. You don't have to. You can turn in a working iPad, and there'll be no charge. If you want to purchase it, bring $50 in cash or a check made out to Blue Water Middle College to the office starting next week when you can start returning your books. It does take a few weeks for us to get the link between the RESA IT folks and your iPad broken, but they will sever that link, and so it will become yours to do whatever you want with. But again, you have to make a decision on your iPad, either return it or buy it by May 10th. If your iPad is broken or lost or something like that, you'll need to pay the $50. That's cheaper than getting it fixed if we said you must fix the screen. So, but either way, we need either the iPad, a working iPad or $50. Okay? All right. So that is it. And again, congratulations on all you've accomplished over the last 3 years, and you did a great job. Thank you.